Hello friends, this is Sujay Chaudhary. Welcome you again to our channel OCS Kolkata. Today I will bring to you Miss Shivani, Product Manager of Charles Sturt University Study Centre, Australia. So listen to her carefully. You will learn a lot of things about the entry criteria, the courses they are offering to the students, and the support they are offering to the students during this COVID-19, and what will be the course outcome. So let's listen to Shivani and request you to kindly see the video till the end so that you can get a lot of knowledge about the university. And before proceeding further, I request you to kindly subscribe to our channel and please press the bell icon so that we can bring you more videos like this. So here is Miss Shivani from Charles Sturt University Study Centre, Australia. So as I told you, so today I am joined with Shivani Vashin, the product manager of Charles Sturt University Study Centre. So it's a great privilege for all the students from India, Bangladesh and other places, so that they can get the total knowledge about the university and all the current situation of the university. So welcome Shivani.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chaudhary. Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to SC Overseas for this platform where we can talk about Charles Sturt Universities and the important updates in light of COVID-19.
Okay, so tell us something about the Charles Sturt University and the campuses.
Sure. So, Mr. Chaudhary, study group has been working with Charles Sturt University closely for the past 25 years, and we are running their study centers in the cities like Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. So we have our own study centers in the downtown area of these cities, which is Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, and we run the range of programs starting from bachelor's degree till master's in accounting, business and information technology. And that's all about study group for now.
Okay, so students have the option for Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane.
Absolutely, yes.
So can you please tell something about the student, about the cities, like a small introduction of the cities?
Sure.
Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane.
Absolutely. So all our study centers we are running in the downtown, so it's very easy for the international students to commute, and also when it comes to the part-time jobs as well, you are close to the industry because you're right in the downtown. So all our three centers are in CBD, which is Central Business District, so it's easy to commute and it's easy when it comes to the job. Also, Mr. Chaudhary, the student is expected to be on campus for their study almost 2 to 3 days per week, and there are no weekend classes. So we give that kind of flexibility when it comes to the timetable, just 2 to 3 days per week, and there are no weekend classes. So they get to work during the weekends.
Okay, that's fine. So what are the courses are available for the international students?
Thank you for asking this question. It's a fantastic question. So we have a bachelor's degree, graduate diploma programs, and then we also have a master's degree. And we have a programs in business. We have a program in accounting, and we also have an information technology. With information technology, we have a fantastic further concentrations as well. So I would like to spend some time on the concentrations if you allow me to do so.
Sure.
We have specializations in business analysis. We have a specialization. This is a specialization in our MIT program, which is Masters of Information Technology. We have a business analysis specialization, which student can choose. We have cloud computing. We have mobile programming, IT management, networking, software design and development, and there are two new one which is newly introduced to our MIT program, which is Master of Information Technology, which is data science and cybersecurity. So these data science is quite a very popular concentration and major these days among international students.
Okay, that's fine. So student has the option for undergraduation and post-graduation.
Yes.
For all these three faculties.
Absolutely. So we have the bachelor's, graduate diploma and master's for all the domains, accounting and business and information technology.
Okay. So what are the entry criteria for undergrad students?
So, Mr. Chaudhary, for undergraduate student, we expect them to have 60% in their grade 12 standard, and we also need the English exam, which is IELTS or PTE. So, IELTS requirement is 6.0, and no component should be lesser than 5.5. And as far as PT is concerned, we expect them to have 54. No component should be lesser than 46.
Okay. And what about the state boards? Do you accept students from state boards other than CBSE?
Yes, we do, but we expect them to have a little higher percentage, so about 65% for the state boards.
Okay. So any gap that you accept for undergrad students?
See, as far as we are okay with any gap which is about 9 to 12 months, provided it is well justified in the statement of purpose. But if it is a longer duration of gap and there is not proper justification for it, then it may not be acceptable. So it has to be we should have evidence for each and every gap which is in the profile of the student.
And what about the master degree students or graduate diploma? What are the entry criteria?
Okay, so for the master's degree student, we need them to have again 60% in their bachelor's degree. And as far as our English requirement is concerned, there is not much difference for the undergraduate and a master's English requirement. We still ask for a 6.0 in IELTS, but with the for the master student, we need 6.0 in writing as well, and no other component should be lesser than 5.5. And same requirement is for a PTE. We ask for 54 and over 54 in writing, and no band less than 46.
Okay, that's fine. And is there anything that you do? Is there any gap that you accept after the graduation? Like if students working for 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, do you accept those kind of students as well?
Yes, we do, because some of our programs requires work experience, so that's not a problem, provided it has again the work experience certificate, the student has a relevant bank statement where their salary is getting credited, so that's not a problem. We can definitely accept those students, and so make sure the student has all the relevant documents when they put in their application to study with us.
And Shivani, one question is that in 2019, the students was completed their year 12, and sometimes it takes 6 months to 7 months for a student to decide where they want to go and to prepare themselves for the IELTS. And during those situations, there are a lot of students who are unable to go to abroad in 2020 in February or even in July intake. So do you accept those students in your November 2020 because they cannot justify their gap until and unless because of this pandemic situation?
Oh, so this situation is with everyone. So if we are under lockdown and student has the reason of COVID-19, we're definitely going to consider it. So make sure whatever gap period you have, for example, maybe because of the IELTS preparation, if it is justifiable, maybe for the IELTS preparation, if you have taken a 3 months or a 4 months, acceptable. If somebody says I've taken a 12 months to do the IELTS preparation, this will not be acceptable. So until unless your gap period is justifiable, make sure you write all this explanation in your statement of purpose, and we'll look into it. So if until unless it's justifiable, we are okay with it. So if somebody has a gap due to the IELTS and it's justifiable, we are fine. But if somebody also has a work experience and has all the supporting documents, we are okay with it. As far as COVID-19 gap is concerned, it's a crisis situation and everyone is going through it. So we will definitely look into it.
And every parents are really worried about the current situation. And what are the supports that you are providing to your students during this COVID-19, and how students are studying over there, and what do you want to say to the students who wants to enroll to your university during this pandemic situation? What kind of support you are going to provide to them?
Sure. Thank you for raising this question. I think it's a good question. So one thing which I would like to tell all the viewers today is, please, there is a very important update in light of COVID-19, that we do not want our students to put their future on hold. See, that is why we have come up with the virtual classes. What we call it as a face-to-face virtual classes. So for our November intake, if the travel restriction will not be lifted, so we will be starting our intake with the virtual classes. And the best part of these virtual classes is we need the minimal resources to start these classes. You should have a computer with the internet, you should have your headset, and you have your cam ready, and you're good to go to start our virtual classes. We are not asking for just the minimal resources and you can start your classes. If in case you are from the place where you do not have a reliable internet, then that is also not a problem. You can download your lecture whenever you have a reliable internet, and then you can watch it at a later date as well. So that is a kind of flexibility we give it to all the students. And also, Mr. Chaudhary, we are allowing them to register the lesser number of courses. So we give them the option of registering for up to 4 subjects for November intake and for the virtual classes. So even if you register for 1 or 2 classes, you make the tuition fee according to that. So you do not need to make the tuition fee for rest of the program if you're registering for just two subjects.
Okay. So that means, student can even download the classes and can watch it later on.
Absolutely, yes.
And what about the on-campus? I mean, is your campus is open now?
It is. It's actually on the hybrid model. So some of the classes are the physical classes and some are the virtual classes, because of there also we have to keep the social distancing measure in mind in Australia, and as well as we have to keep all that government the instructions. We are following the government instruction of. So some of them are the virtual classes and some are the physical. So I'll say it's a hybrid model at the moment in Australia as well for the onshore students.
Okay. So so what is your expectation? Do you want? I mean, when can student travel to Australia? Any guess? Because you cannot give us the guarantee. Any hope to the students?
So this question is a tough one to answer. So no, we have no idea about it, but we are keeping our fingers crossed for next year. But for this November, I am still doubtful about the travel restriction to be lifted. But yes, I am. It's still I do not have the firm answer. It's just my assumption. So I have no idea. So it's until unless the government announce it, and then only we'll get to know that the travel restrictions are lifted. But for now, we all have it's a question mark for everyone.
So that means you are giving 100% support to your students during this pandemic situation. So yes. I really, on behalf of the student, I should say thank you, and thank you for the continued support that you are providing to all the students. And one question is, I mean, the students who go to Australia, I mean, I believe they will also get the part-time work rights. And in some places they can get in every places they can get post-study work permit. So after completion of the course, I mean, what kind of job student can expect after completing in Charles Sturt University?
Okay, so Mr. Chaudhary, the CSU is ranked number 1 in Australia for our graduate employment rate. We are maintaining 87.5% graduate employment rate in Australia. And also on top of it, we have an option of 12 weeks internship option for all our students, for all the program, and they get to work in the field of their study. On top of this, all our program are accredited by the ACS, which is Australia Computer Society, and CP Australia and Chartered Accountant Australia and New Zealand. So also our graduates enjoy the highest average median salary. So that makes it much more popular among the international students. Another thing which I would like to highlight here, Mr. Chaudhary, is now the Australian High Commission has already started processing the visas, and all visas are getting through for the intake. So let's make the best use of it. Please apply for November intake as early as possible so that we can process your ECU time. You can apply for your visas. Once you have your visas, even if you start virtually, the Australian High Commission has announced that you will be eligible for your work permits. So make sure you're using it wisely, you're taking the decisions on time. Please reach the nearest branch of SC Overseas, and they'll help you to put in the application for CSU, which is Charles Sturt University.
And the $1 million question, what is the tuition fees for undergrad students and for the post-graduation, and what are the initial fees that student needs to deposit?
Okay, so our tuition fees is a range between for bachelor's degree, it's between about $28,000 for Bachelor of Accounting, and it's in between $28,000 to $30,000, I'll say, for the bachelor's. So it depends upon the course you're opting for. And for the masters, it depends upon the master. So our master's fee starts with the $23,000 per year, and for MBA it goes up to $31,000 as well. So it's actually depends upon the program the student is choosing for. The student has to make the tuition fee of the number of subjects they are opting for November, and then accordingly they make the payment for November.
Okay. And what is the usual payment that you require? For November, it's a different situation. And if a student wants to go there in February intake,
Yep.
so and let's assume that February intake students is moving to Australia. Let's assume, because neither you nor I can guarantee.
Yeah, that's
In that case, what are the usual
1 year tuition fee.
One semester.
You should be CUE. Yeah.
One thing what the students should do.
So we for the usual normal scenarios, we request for 1 year tuition fee to issue the CUE.
Okay. Actually, this gives better option to the students as well, because as an agent working for last 19 years, we also found that if you pay 1 year tuition fees upfront, actually it helps you.
Absolutely.
And whenever you go to Australia, you don't need to pay after 6 months. So initially, that actually gives you some moral support, and it affects in your education as well.
That's true. That's true.
And one last thing, what do you want to say to the students?
See, I would like to request all our students, make a best use of your time. Do not put your future on hold, and apply for our November intake as soon as possible. We have a range of fantastic programs starting from bachelor's till master's degree in accounting, business and IT. We are giving a range of fantastic scholarship options to our student applying for November intake. We have international international excellence scholarship for up to $8,000. That is also available for the students applying for a November intake. So make a best use of your time and apply for November intake as soon as possible.
Okay, so students, this is a great opportunity, and they are also supporting all the students during this pandemic situation. And Shivani, thank you very much for your time and talking to the students. Hope this session will be a very useful and helpful to all the students. Thank you, Shivani, again from OCS Kolkata, to you and to your entire team.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chaudhary, and stay safe but stay connected to OCS team so that they can help you. Thank you.